builders to get your clients massive discounts on Sub-Zero Wolf. This is in-store only, so just come to our Toronto Mall location and see our amazing reps. If you want to see Sub-Zero Wolf, come see the Sub-Zero Wolf outlet now.
You got snow everywhere, shit's on fire, teachers on strike, and they impeaching the president.
Westbound Finch and Don Mills, left lane blocked with a crash, and southbound Dufferin approaching Finch. We get a collision right now blocking the rain in that area. Now the 680 News gas price update and processed price of gas should go up a penny at midnight tonight to $1.17.9.
680 News Time 10:10. The Monitoring Center is an owned, operated, ULC-listed full-service monitoring facility.
ULC, the Underwriters Laboratories of Canada. What the fuck do they have to do with alarm system?
Or take advantage of our
alarm services
installation packages. Call the Monitoring Center today for your free quotation.
All the Underwriters Labs can do is make sure the shit don't set your house on fire.
Why? Because we care.
Sparkle, glitter. Is it glitter enough? Janea.
The Maserati of Ontario and Oakville Grand Finale event is on now. For limited time,
I see Maseratis out there too every day.
2019 models, including a 0% finance.
I know it's the hood, it's the ghetto. Where these Maseratis and Lambos and McLarens coming from, eh? No, they just see them.
$25,000 savings on select 2018 in-stock models. Act fast before it's too late. Choose road less ordinary by visiting Maserati of Ontario or Maserati of Oakville today. On approved credit, offer expires December 31st. See dealer for details.
680 News Time 10:11.
Time now for traffic.
10:11.
On the lines, here's Eva Franciscanos.
This report is brought to you by New Life Fertility Center. We still have this ongoing problem. Southbound on the 400 south of Shepherd. 3 right lanes still blocked, and that's all because of a stalled vehicle. Now it's on 400. Looks like it's still moving quite slowly through about just south of Highway 9 all the way through to south of King Road. And then delays again from approaching Finch to those problems south of Shepherd. If you're on the southbound 404, Don Valley Parkway still busy from Stouffville Road right through to south of 16th. Delays again approaching Finch to south of Lawrence. On the westbound 401, it's busy approaching Dixon to west of the 412. And again from west of Morningside to west of Young, alternately express and collector lanes. Looking at the westbound Gardner QEW, still looking to be moving quite well right now. No major delays or problems through that route. Eastbound on the 401, it's still slow going from approaching Winston Churchill to east of Mavis, and then again a delay from the 400 to Kiel in the collectors, Bathurst on and off towards Leslie Express and collectors, south 410 out of Brampton, still slow from Sandalwood to south of Queen, and you'll want to take your time. Eastbound QEW, it's busy from south down to Dixie, East Gardner, slow going over the Humber Bridge to Dufferin. Westbound on Finch at Don Mills, left lane closed because of a collision. Expect some heavy delays as you make your way through there. Trying to get pregnant? Call New Life. New Life Fertility Center is Canada's leading and most affordable fertility center with 7 GTA locations. Call for a free consultation. NewLifeFertility.com. Your next report is at 10:21. Here's the forecast now with Denise Andriacci.
Weather advisories in effect for the GTA with some snow squall warnings through Mississauga, Brampton, Northern York, and region and Newmarket. We had some warnings through Vaughan, Markham, and the city of Toronto. Those have since ended, but the weather advisories remain in effect, and we're going to see warnings pop in and out of the forecast throughout the day. Some of these squalls are very heavy, and keep in mind that we also have very gusty winds, so visibility with the blowing and drifting snow is certainly a concern when you're out on the roads today, and it will be tricky to navigate because you'll likely drive through some sunny spots and then all of a sudden hit a snow squall. Have you noticed it's freezing outside? We've got a wind chill of -13. Temperatures are quite cold now, will continue to fall throughout the day, and by tonight, flurries and -16 for an overnight low. Chance of flurries Thursday near -9 for a high. We fall to lows near -10
wind chill of -13, but she said -16. She didn't say wind chill, so what the fuck is that
News Time 10:13.
Now time for the Scotia iTrade.
Warmer than -22 or colder?
Center, and good morning, Chris McCusker.
Well, good morning to you, Steve. We've got new intraday highs for the Dow and the S&P. So right now, the Dow is higher by 21, the S&P up by a point. The Nasdaq's been fluctuating.
Intraday don't mean shit, bitch.
2, and then the TSX is down 54, 17,120. It's about 100 points now from its all-time high. Gold is off by $2. 14.78. A pullback for oil as well is down 49 cents, $60.46, and the Canadian dollar up by 22 100, 76.20 cents US. The latest inflation reading for Canada came in a little above expectations. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at
ScotiaITrade.com. But I can't find none of the other things.
When businesses join forces with 680 News, it's the start of a beautiful friendship.
Hey, it's Sam from Best Brand Appliance. We are one of the largest premier appliance distributors in all of Canada for both retail and wholesale.
How long have you been advertising with 680?
We've been with 680 for about 4 or 5 years now. Business is fantastic thanks to 680. It's doing unbelievable.
How do you like working with your account manager at 680 News?
Dan's the man. He gives us some great creative ideas.
I don't remember what I did with that.
So far, 680 has been unbelievable.
What type of response has Best Brand Appliance received from 680 News?
We got such a great response, and the foot traffic was huge. Our website traffic, once we started on 680, went up by 34%.
How has 680 News helped you achieve your advertising goals?
We're looking for a premium audience with a household income of a certain amount for what we do. We found that 680 had the exact demographic that our client is.
Would you recommend 680 News to others?
680 is definitely for you.
Looking for a household income of a certain amount.
For you. Call 680
That's the part you're going to keep secret.
416-935 News.
I don't have much respect for people that think they know how to do business.
Well, we got a mix of sun and cloud right now in downtown Toronto, and a temperature of -7, feeling like -12 when you factor in that wind. Good morning from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Steve Roberts.
And I'm Sarah Parrott. Here are the top stories this hour.
Snow squalls continue for parts of southern and central Ontario today, but a snow squall warning has now ended for the city of Toronto. It doesn't mean, though, that there won't be some lingering.
They won't say south central Ontario. They don't want it to sound cool.
Continue to drop throughout the day as well, to some very bitter wind chills tonight. Happening now in Washington, the debate underway in the U.S. House of Representatives on 2 articles of impeachment against U.S. President Trump. The House is expected to vote for those articles later on this afternoon. And coming up after sports, authorities in New Zealand now saying they do not expect that all the bodies from last week's volcanic eruption will be found.
Really? You fucking idiots. It took you this long to figure out a volcano might destroy a body? I don't feel sorry for people that went vacationing to a volcano, eh?
Jaw-dropping. He has no idea how good he can be. He's only scratching the surface of what he can be as a player. And last night he started to see it. The second goal he scored last night was like, are you kidding me? For a guy who was 225 pounds? You make that move and score on backhand? Like, that's sick.
There's Brian Burke on lead.
That's sick, man. Sick.
The Rangers. Tonight on Sportsnet, Blues come to the Oilers beginning at 8:30. Raptors shoot for 3 in a row in Detroit. We have it at 7 on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Fred VanVleet not likely to play. And once his physical is passed, we should get the official word from the Blue Jays on Shun Yamaguchi. They've reportedly signed the 32-year-old to a 2-year, $6 million deal. He posted a 3-to-1 strikeouts-to-walks ratio.
It was good on gas.
70 innings this past season in Japan's Central League. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
You're gonna ask, was it a car or motorcycle? It was both. It's folded from one into the other.
Traditional favorites for an all-you-can-eat buffet for a limited time while supplies last. Choose from featured dishes like roast turkey with all the fixings, spicy firecracker shrimp, pesto chicken pasta, ribeye steak, and a tasty array of holiday desserts. And if you're celebrating at home or in the office, try Mandarin Party menus for takeout and delivery. So ring in your reservation today, and may all your meals be merry.
I'm here with Bill Coy of Coy Brothers, and we're dreaming of a white Christmas.
Actually, it's a green Christmas with Toro.
Green? I thought Toros were red.
They are, but now Toro's going green with their new and already popular battery-powered single-stage snowblowers.
I hear the
battery-powered
39901 can clear up to a 12-car driveway.
And the Toro 39902 is even more powerful. Both are environmentally friendly, and they're easy to store.
White Christmas? Go green with a red Toro from Coy Brothers.
COYBROS.com.
680 News Time, 10:19.
After more than a century, the final truck expected to roll off the assembly line at GM Oshawa today. And it's where we find 680's Carl Pansky, who joins us with a story and reaction.
A somber move
here at GM
gangster
Oshawa,
movement. Workers head in for their very last shift.
Well, it's kind of depressing. It's a big change. It's not a good change, I guess.
You have another job lined up?
Yeah, I do, but a lot of people don't.
The final
Smash
truck will
up
roll
the
out
everything
assembly
you
lines
see,
later
Badger. They
today,
trash the
and
place. What they gonna do?
2,300
Charge you?
jobs
You
affected
can't come
here.
back to work here no
Saying the
more?
total
Fire you?
loss will be
Fuck
higher
them up,
than
bro.
There's just a lot
You
of
think your
plants and
supervisors are sober
trees in
today?
Oshawa that are getting affected. This plant has been producing vehicles since 1907, but GM announced last year it was shutting it down. 300 workers still have a future here, though, for now, as part of the site will be converted into a stamping and sub-assembly operation and a test track for autonomous vehicles. At GM Oshawa, I'm Carl Hansky.
Authorities in New Zealand now acknowledging that not all of the bodies from last week's volcanic eruption will be recovered.
It's known that the White Island eruption killed 18
They're covered in
people.
50 feet
Most
of
the
rock.
bodies
Yeah,
have
no
been
shit,
recovered, but
stupid.
not all. Deputy Police Commissioner Mike Lemon.
It is my strong view, but I cannot be absolutely positive that the two bodies, Winona Langford and Hayden Inman, who had been in that water course, were washed out to sea.
The situation on the island remains uncertain, with the probability of an eruption over the next 24 hours standing around 20 to 40%. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
60 seconds from now, look at traffic and your extended forecast.
680 News Time, 10:20.
Celebrate the holiday magic this December at Casa Loma during a Nutcracker Christmas at the Castle. Enjoy a host of exciting family activities and performances, including illusionist Professor Wick, Glees on Ice, plus visit Santa's workshop for your photo with Santa and more. The Castle will be dazzling with festive decor and a 40-foot signature tree. And from December 16th to 30th, you can also explore Casa Loma by night as you wander through the lighting display in the gardens. Info and tickets at casaloma.ca. Obstacles and mortgages go together like first dates and spaghetti. Especially if you've been through a bankruptcy, consumer proposal, or debt settlement. Remember the name Thuga. Jaspreet Thuga and his team have options for you. Alternative mortgages, private mortgages. Jaspreet Thuga works for you, not the lenders. So you get the best terms and rates. Get started today at thugamortgages.ca. That's DHUGGA mortgages.ca. And tear down those obstacles. License 12880.
680 News Time, 10:21.
Time now for traffic and weather together on the ones. Checking the drive now. How are things looking, Eva?
Well, they're still pretty busy up there right now, Steve. Roads are pretty slick in most areas around the GTA, so a lot of people are taking their time. If you're on the southbound 400 south of Shepherd, we still have those 3-way lanes closed off because of a stalled vehicle. Southbound 400 is slow going from Teston to south of Major Mackenzie, and then it slows down from approaching Finch to those problems south of Shepherd, so definitely leave yourself extra time on that route. We also still have ongoing delays if you're south on the 404 Don Valley Parkway from Stouffville Road all the way through to south of 16th, and then delays again from south of Finch right through to south of Lawrence. If you're using that southbound Don Valley Parkway, it slows again approaching the Gardner Expressway. Westbound on the 401, busy from Thixon all the way through to approaching Salem, and then slows down again
You
from
people are so
Morningside
stupid
to Western
sometimes.
County Express.
Wealth
and
drop
collectors,
incentive
and
to
again from the
extend
404
hours
to Western
overnight
Young,
because it's
alternately Express and
extreme cold
collector
weather
lanes.
alert.
If you are using that
Quote,
eastbound
it's
401,
not a
still have
facility
delays
to
through
come and
Milton
sleep.
Mississauga,
It's
but
just
that
somewhere
is
to be
easy
warm,
off.
so people
And
are
then it
not
just
freezing to
slows down
death
through
outside.
Keele and the
They will
collectors,
literally
and
kick
from
you
east
awake
of
if you're not
Bathurst
up,
to
eh?
about to Leslie, alternately
Cocksuckers.
Express and
You're the ones
collector
that
lanes.
spread the
East QEW
tuberculosis
still slow
and the
going from
scabies
Guelph
and the
onto
bed
Walker,
bugs.
south down to Dixie,
All them
eastbound
tears.
on the Gardner, busy
We
over the
know
Humber
you
Bridge to
did.
Dufferin, and south
Public
410 at
Health
Brampton, still
fucking
slow from
reported on it.
Sandalwood just
It
to
was
about
the
Beauvair,
employees
so
that
even
did
that's starting
that.
to ease off, but again, roads are slick, so you still
But
want to
bringing
take
it
your
to their
time out
own
there this
houses. That's
morning.
how dirty
And
they
don't
are.
forget,
In
we
their
still have
own
westbound
fucking
Finchadone
place
Mills,
they
the
live,
left
they
lane blocked.
fucking bring
That's
that
all for
fucking
collision.
filth.
Find everything you need for the holidays at Marquee Jewelers. The super sale continues on all rings, bracelets, chains, and more. Don't miss out. 2 Bloor Street West at Young. Next report is at 10:31. Here's the forecast with Denise Andriacci.
Well, we'll continue with the scattered light flurries for most of the GTA, and then in between all of that, we're going to get into those heavier bands of snow like we saw this morning. So weather advisories are in effect, and we still have some snow squall warnings in effect as well through Newmarket, Northern York region, and also for Mississauga and Brampton. So certainly some pockets picking up heavier snow today. It's not just the snow that's going to fall, it's the blowing and drifting snow. Visibility will be very poor as well.
I don't know what you
And
just
as
did,
often
but I
with
don't
snow
want
squalls,
that
you
to be
see a
open
huge
in my
amount of snow in a
fucking
very
devices.
short amount of time. So it's even difficult for the crews at times to make sure that these roads are cleared. It's for also very cold outside. We're tapping into the coldest air of the season so far. Overnight tonight, it's going to feel into the minus 20s, likely feeling into the minus 20s by the evening. Temperatures just continue to fall throughout the day, and tomorrow as well. Another very, very cold day for the kids getting off to school tomorrow. They need a lot of layers. We have highs of only near minus 9. And then by Friday, just a bit more moderate, minus 3 with some sunshine. So it does get better, but the next couple of days definitely very, very winter-like. Minus 7 with a light snow shower at Pearson. We reached our guaranteed high this morning, minus 3. 680 News Time, 10:24.
Hey guys, have you been on medication or just feel lousy because of your weight? Sleep apnea, sciatica, I had it all until I met the team at Harvey Brooker Weight Loss for Men. I'm Pat Corrado, a 51-year-old accounting professional from Woodbridge, and I'm telling you, losing my weight has changed my life.
Don't miss 20% off 2020 memberships. New members only. Call now, 416-222-9887. HarveyBrooker.com.
If you could do it alone, you would have done it already.
Coming up in 60 seconds, look at Christmas news on the 25s, and then we've got Chris McCusker standing by with the latest in business.
680 News Time, 10:25.
Year after year, the Alta Group of Infinity dealers has won awards for customer satisfaction. They've also won awards for the number of Infinities they've sold. If you're shopping or need to service your vehicle, go where the customers are pleased and the vehicles are plentiful. Alta Infinity Woodbridge, 400 Infinity Innisfil, Infinity of Brampton, Canada's #1 volume Infinity Group. Go to altagroup.ca.
Part of the Zankin Auto Group.
Rexall can help with holiday gifts.
Spend $50, get 100 bonus air miles.
Yeah, Dad, it's Beauty Thursday. Oh, let's get that perfume for Mom. Some cologne and maybe that aftershave for Jake.
Sure.
Then use the bonus air miles to treat ourselves to a little something.
I like the way you think. You know, I wouldn't mind trying those face masks you and your friends always talk about.
Ooh, I like the way you think. This Beauty Thursday, get 100 bonus air miles when you spend $50 or more on skincare, cosmetics, hair care, and fragrances. Visit Rexall.ca for details.
That's time for all Christmas news on the 25s, brought to you today by the Scott Mission. Well, this is one way to have a green Christmas.
Scott Mission is one of the best places. Good Shepherd, Scott Mission.
After officers uncovered more than 38 kilos of marijuana in his luggage, wrapped up as Christmas gifts. Officers and a police dog smelled a strong odor coming from 3 bags, finding them filled with pot. He was arrested for possession with the intent to distribute.
Where did that happen? Because 3 kilos, over 3 kilos in Canada is a Schedule 8 offense under the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act. Keep it under 3 kilos and it's a Schedule 2 offense. Unless they change the fucking schedules, I don't know.
Yes, Canada's underlying inflation, Steve, hit the highest level in a decade in November at 2.2%. So that appears to back up a decision by the Bank of Canada earlier this month to avoid an interest rate cut, despite the fact other major central banks have been doing it. Inflation overall rose 2.2% compared to a year ago. That was a little above expectations. The Canadian dollar right now is up by 1/5 cent, 76.18 cents US. The TSX is down 52, 17,022. So as it stands right now, it's about 100 points from its all-time high. We've got gold in the red today. It's down $1.1479. Oil off by 48 cents, $60.46. Now on Wall Street, new all-time highs for the Dow and the S&P, with investors seemingly looking past today's impeachment vote. Donald Trump not expected to be thrown out of office at the end of the day. The Dow right now is higher by 16 points, 28,283. There is a big weight coming from shares in FedEx. This stock right now is close to its lowest level in 2 months, down 9.2% to 148.13. Earnings for the fiscal second quarter fell by 37% compared to last year. The company also issued its second profit warning of the year. The S&P right now is up by a point at 3,193, and the NASDAQ higher by 8 to 8,831. I'm Chris McCusker. This is 680 News.
Pumpernickel's.
Hi, my boss needs a caterer for the team meeting.
Well, we do breakfast, lunch, sandwiches, wraps, hors d'oeuvres, coffee, sweets, sweets, desserts, and
platters?
Yep, deli, veggie, cheesy, fruity, caprese, breads and spreads, falafel, and
What about salad?
rainbow cob, kale, Caesar, Greek, pasta and veg, tabbouleh, couscous, and thanks.
Pumpernickel's. 13 restaurants across the GTA and catering everywhere. See the menu now at pumpernickels.ca, where good food is plentiful.
Did you know there is a fast way to send money abroad? It's called Zoom. Xoom. The money transfer app from PayPal that lets you send money abroad fast at amazing rates. Send money directly to bank accounts or for cash pickup at thousands of locations around the world. Don't go to the store and wait in line to send money. Download the Zoom app today and send money right from your phone. Money goes Zoom.
Taking a look now at your business travelers forecast. If you're heading out to Vancouver today, some rain and 6 degrees. In the nation's capital, expecting some light snow and -6. In New York City, a mix of sun and cloud and 3 degrees. Cloudy in Boston and 4. Sunshine in Chicago, -4. And in Miami, some thunderstorms expected this morning, but otherwise sunny throughout the day and 26. Right now in downtown Toronto, a mix of sun and cloud. Temperature right now of -4, feeling like -10 with the wind. 680 news time, 10:30.
Number 1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Sarah Ferris and Steve Roberts. Good morning. It's Wednesday, December 18th.
And good morning. Here's what's making news this hour.
By the end of today, Donald Trump is expected to be just the 3rd U.S. president to be impeached. The articles of impeachment against him are currently being debated. Bundle up, Toronto. We are now under an extreme cold weather alert with temperatures set to feel like -20 tonight.
Fire crews in Vaughan making some quick work, putting out a fire at an auto body shop in the Jane and Highway 7 area.
And after more than a century, the final truck is expected to roll off the assembly line at the GM Oshawa plant today.
Police take a day after outskilling the
Here's the problem. How are you going to get your recalls taken care of? You might have recalls come up 10 years from now dealing with GM.
Records for the Dow and the S&P with the impeachment vote planned for today in the U.S., while the TSX is down 53 with oil and gold in the red. Business at 56.
680 news time, 10:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Eva Fragiscatos. This report is brought to you by Salvation Army. Right now on the northbound 404 at Aurora Road, we've got the left lane blocked off. That's all because of a collision. Now, if you're northbound on the Don Valley Parkway 404 combination, it slows still a little bit through Eglinton towards Lawrence, and then we have those problems at Aurora Road. Not really causing too much of a delay, very slight slowdown, but something to be aware of if that's your usual route. Now, if you're westbound on the 401 coming out of Durham region, it's still slow fixed into west of the 412, and then delays again westbound on the 401 from west of Morningside to west of Kennedy Express and Collectors, and then again from the 404 to west of Young, alternately Express and Collector lanes. On the eastbound side of the 401, it's quite slow going still through the Milton area, and then eastbound on the 401, you've got slowdowns as you make your way through Mississauga Road. Eastbound 401 slows again through Dixie Collectors and through Keel and the Collectors, and again from Young to Leslie Express and Collector lanes. Eastbound on the QEW, slow Mississauga Road to Dixie. Eastbound on the 403, delays from the QEW ramp to Dundas. And if you're eastbound on the Gardner Expressway, still very slow over top of the Humber Bridge all the way through to Dufferin. Looking at the southbound 410 out of Brampton, that's busy Sandalwood to about south of Beauvert. And looks like the southbound 404 DVP is still slow going from south of Stouffville Road to south of 16th, and then delays from Shepherd to south of Lawrence. That's all just volume related right now. And just finding a new problem now westbound on the 401, just west of Trafalgar, we've got a lane blocked. That's all because of a collision, and because of that, westbound 401 is slow from the 407 to those problems just west of Trafalgar. Eastbound O'Connor approaching Ralston, the right lane closed for a collision. Wildfires in Fort McMurray, flooding in Ottawa, or an empty dinner table at Christmas. The Salvation Army will be there because everyone needs an army. Donate this holiday season at salvationarmy.ca.
Now
the forecast with Denise Andriacci.
-6 in the city right now with some light flurries and a wind chill of
Salvation Army will be there. That sounds
extreme
depressing.
cold across the GTA and southern Ontario today, and on and off snow squall activity as well, with very poor visibility, strong gusty winds, about 2 to 5 centimeters probably for most of the GTA. Winter weather travel advisories in effect. We could certainly see heavier amounts, especially since through that north end of Mississauga, Brampton, Newmarket, and northern York region still under those snow squall warnings. So we're tracking all the squalls for you if you're heading heading out of the city towards the Cottage Country area, Barrie, Midland, Aurelia, up to 30 centimeters possible there. So take it easy on that 400 north. Minus 16 is your overnight low. It's going to feel into the minus 20s as we move through the day today. Minus 7 at Pearson. We reached your guaranteed high this morning, minus 3.
680 News Time, 1034.
Happening now in Washington, the rare process of impeaching U.S. President Donald Trump is unfolding as politicians debate the charges against him.
680's Irene Precklett joining us live with the very latest from the U.S. Capitol. Irene?
And Steve, the House
He
is
should
debating
lock
the
himself
rules
in
for
there
this
and just
process, but by
barricade
the
the
end
doors.
of today,
Let them
Donald
fucking get
Trump
him out
is
of there.
expected to
Let
be
them
just
try.
the third U.S. president to be impeached. The rare process is expected to include more than 6 hours of debate. Rules Committee Chair Jim McGovern says Democrats and Republicans have had equal opportunity to take part in the impeachment inquiry.
President Trump was given the opportunity to participate in the Judiciary Committee's review of the evidence presented against him. He chose not to participate, and President Trump to date has not provided any exculpatory evidence, but instead has blocked numerous witnesses from testifying about his actions.
Trump has been tweeting his
magically
outrage
blocked
today,
him.
writing,
They
"Can you
use that word
believe that I
block.
will be
Oh, he's
impeached
blocking
today by
me.
the radical left?
It
Do
ain't fucking
nothing,
basketball,
Democrats, and I
homeboy.
did nothing wrong. A terrible thing." A House impeachment resolution that is expected to come to a vote this evening states that Trump abused the power of his office, then tried to obstruct the investigation in Congress like no other president in history. Reporting live, Irene Precklett, 680 News. 680 News Time, 1035. Well, don't let those peaks of sunshine fool you. It is bitterly cold out there, and that's why the city of Toronto is now under an extreme cold weather alert. The temperature will drop to minus 10 this afternoon, while tonight the wind chill is expected to be around minus 20. Tomorrow's high expected to reach just minus 6, our coldest high so far this season. The extreme cold weather alert should be called off by Friday as temperatures are expected to rise into the plus side over the weekend. Meantime, Toronto is still under a winter weather travel advisory with brief periods of snow expected throughout the day. And Newmarket, Northern York Region, Mississauga, and Brampton remain under a snow squall warning.
The Center for Addiction and Mental Health says it will implement all 12 recommendations made by an external panel that probe recent cases of patients with a violent history escaping the facility. Among the recommendations, building an outdoor area enclosed by fences and communicating more often with Toronto police. Zevon Kong, for example, a patient of the hospital who escaped in July and fled to China after he was found not criminally responsible for the second-degree murder of his roommate. The head of the review for the psychiatric hospital says the recommendation should improve community safety and help patients complete their treatment.
Ontario's public high school
It's not
teachers
criminally
are
responsible.
hoping
You
third
can't
time's a
extradite
charm.
them.
Teachers
Even
at
if it
10
was in
school boards,
China.
including some in the GTA, are staging another one-day strike as contract
You're gonna
talks
hear about
between
them
their
again one
union
day.
and the
Some knife
province
attack in
continue to
China.
go
Watch.
nowhere. Here's 680's
The
Kevin
Chinese
Meisner.
are going to blame the Canadian government.
Today,
Watch.
10 school boards affected by today's one-day walkout. Both boards in York and Waterloo Region, as well as the Halton School Board, are among those affected. Premier Doug Ford believes he has public support on his side in this increasingly bitter contract squabble.
Everyone's saying, don't stop, keep going, and don't give in to the teachers. That's what I'm hearing everywhere.
Ford says money is the only sticking point, but the union wants the province to reverse increases to class size and mandatory e-learning requirements. No further talks or job action is planned, at least until the new year. Teachers are holding information picket lines at all affected high schools today. A picket line also in place at Education Minister Stephen Lecce's constituency office in King City. I'm Kevin Meisner.
680 News Time, 1037. Canada's former Justice Minister has been chosen as the Canadian Press's Newsmaker of the Year.
News editors and producers across the country have chosen Jody Wilson-Raybould as the runaway winner of the Newsmaker title, citing her central role in the SNC-Lavalin affair, a scandal that cost Justin Trudeau 2 ministers, his most trusted advisor, the country's top public servant, and possibly his majority in the House of Commons. Wilson-Raybould was a star Liberal candidate in 2015, but she fell out with the Prime Minister by refusing to order the negotiation of a remediation agreement for SNC-Lavalin as the Montreal engineering firm faced corruption-related charges. Wilson-Raybould ended up resigning from cabinet, though she won re-election in Vancouver and now sits as an independent. Derek Nadeau, the Canadian Press, Ottawa.
And it's the end of the line at the GM Oshawa plant, meaning hundreds of employees are out of work right before Christmas. 680's Carl Hansky's in Durham Region with the story and reaction.
Since 1907, vehicles have been produced here at GM Oshawa, but today is the last day the production lines will roll to a stop for good.
There's a lot of really upset people in there, so makes it really tough.
Tough because 2,300 workers are losing their jobs.
It's closing on. I'll have to likely retire. It's been my life.
And you?
Life. And it's sad. It's not good. Not good. It's unfortunate.
GM announced last year it was shutting down this plant as part of a wider restructuring. Part of the site, though, will be kept open and converted into a stamping and sub-assembly operation and a test track for self-driving vehicles. That will keep about 300 jobs here for now. At GM Oshawa, I'm Carl Hansky.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll check city streets and the price of gas.
680 News Time, 10:39.
Calling all CAA members. You can earn 20% more Petro points when you link your Petro Points card to your CAA membership card. Don't forget, you can also exchange your Petro Points for CAA dollars, which can be redeemed towards your CAA membership renewal, gifting a membership, booking a vacation with CAA Travel, purchasing movie and attraction tickets, and more. Visit CAASCO.com/PetroPoints and start earning more today.
City streets right now, eastbound O'Connor approaching Ralston, the right lane is blocked with a collision, and southbound Leslie approaching York Mills, 2 left lanes are blocked with a collision. Now the 680 News gas price update. EnPro predicts the price will go up 1 cent at midnight to $1.17.9 a liter.
680 News Time, 10:40.
Don't you ever get tired of getting your own way?
Let me think.
No. You wanted to go to Maple Auto Mall, and here we are at Maple Auto Mall.
Well, thank you.
You wanted this make, this model, and you got it.
Well, 9 dealerships together. I knew we wouldn't have to look too hard.
They just keep saying yes, no matter what you want.
Maple Auto Mall is my kind of mall.
Personally, I think this sets a bad precedent.
Happy holidays from the Maple Auto Mall. The holidays snuck up on you. You're looking for a little extra money to make it all happen. Call or click to prudentfinancial.net. Since 1984, Prudent has been there when you needed a loan, even with a lower credit score, even when you're self-employed, a past bankrupt, or in a proposal. Prudent puts the equity in your car or home to work for you. Loans up to $35,000 same day. Holiday money is a call or click away at prudentfinancial.net. Prudentfinancial.net.
680 News Time, 10:41.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Eva Fragiscatos. This report is brought to you by Subaru. Well, we have ongoing problems eastbound 401 east of Yonge in the collectors. The right lane is blocked, and that's all because of a collision. Emergency crews are on the scene. We've got tow trucks through here and MTO crews as well. Eastbound 401 quite slow through the Milton area. James Snow to Trafalgar. Mississauga Road to Mavis, a delay through Dixie in the collectors, and then it slows down again on that eastbound 401 from approaching Avenue all the way through to about Leslie, mainly in the express lane. So definitely leave yourself lots of extra time. And then you'll still find ongoing delays on the eastbound Gardner from about approaching the Humber Bridge to Dufferin. Southbound 404 John Valley Parkway, that's still a slow drive from south of Stouffville Road to south of Major Mackenzie. And then again, you'll find a delay from south of Finch all the way through to south of Lawrence. Southbound on the 400, it's a busy one from south of Aurora Road right through to south of King Road. And then on the opposite side, I'm seeing a delay as well from about north of Teston all the way through to King Road. If you're using the southbound 410 out of Brampton, typical volume.
Yesterday, I ended the stream. Swear to God, the next thing, a tart blowing on the 401. A tart. It's always something fucked up.
West of Salem, and then
I
again,
said that
delays
would
west
happen.
of
Always
Morningside,
happen.
Kennedy Express and collectors, west of the 404 to west of Yonge, alternately Express and collectors, and then westbound on the 401, just west of Trafalgar. Looks like we still have a lane blocked with a collision. It's quite jammed out from approaching Winston Churchill. Northbound Leslie, north of York Mills, left lane is blocked, and southbound Leslie approaching York Mills, left turn lane and left lane blocked because of a collision. Unwrap more this season with Subaru. Hurry into your local Ontario Subaru dealer for a holiday bonus during the My Subaru Gave to Me holiday event. Next report is at 10:51. Here's a check on the forecast. Now it's Denise Andriachi.
We have a light snow shower over at Pearson, -8, a bitter wind chill of -13, and temps will continue to fall throughout the day today. Lots of fresh snow for the ski hills after today and tomorrow. So a great weekend of skiing and snowboarding. But in the meantime, it's not so great to drive in. We've got poor visibility and heavy accumulations through the north end of the GTA and the rest of the GTA under weather advisories. So just be prepared that it could be sunny and quiet on the roads, and all of a sudden you encounter a snow squall today. Minus 16 for an overnight
That's
low.
when the whole everything turns white, but you're still doing 120, eh?
Temperatures throughout the day today, Thursday.
And if you slam on the brakes, the guy behind you, the snow ain't hitting him yet, so he's gonna slam in the back of you.
680 News Time, 10:44.
Now the Scotia iTrade Market Minute, live from the Business Center. Here's Chris McCusker. And Sarah, this just into 680 News. We are hearing a division of SNC-Lavalin has entered a guilty plea to fraud charges in Montreal. Now the charges stem from the work the engineering firm did in Libya. So the stock right now halted on Bay Street. It was in the red when the halt went into place, up by 2.7%, $24.12 a share. So again, a division of SNC-Lavalin has entered a guilty plea to fraud charges.
But they're still trading on the market. What
so
the
that
fuck?
stock weighed on Bay Street. The TSX down 42, 17,032. Well, we got records on the Dow and the S&P. The Dow right now up by 11. The S&P actually unchanged at the moment. And the NASDAQ higher by 10. Gold has just changed direction. Now it's up by $1, $14.81. Oil has changed direction as well. It's higher by 8 cents, $61 a barrel. And the Canadian dollar up by 1/5 of a cent, 76.20 cents US. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
Here's to Toronto. Here's to those who never stop cheering. To the lovers of dinosaurs, birds, and leaves. To those who drink cold beer on a cold day. To those who bleed blue. Here's to Ed, Roy, and Alexandra. To the theaters that take us to another place. Here's to the many that never accept second best. Memphis.
Hey everyone, Sam from Best Brand Applied. So us and Sub-Zero Wolf are bringing you just in time for the holiday season, the Sub-Zero Wolf outlet, between 25 to 45% off Sub-Zero Wolf. An incredible opportunity for all of you who are building or renovating, and also an amazing opportunity for all you designers and builders to get your clients massive discounts on Sub-Zero Wolf. This is in-store only, so just come to our Toronto or Vaughan location and see our amazing reps. If you're seeking Sub-Zero Wolf, come see the Sub-Zero Wolf outlet now at Best Brand Appliance.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
A mix of sun and cloud in downtown Toronto. It's -6, feeling like -13. Good morning from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Sarah Parrish.
And I'm Steve Roberts. Here are the top stories right now.
By the end of today, Donald Trump is expected to be just the third U.S. president in history to be impeached. Democrats are bringing charges of abuse and obstruction against him to a full House vote. Members are expected to approve the charges and send them to the Senate for trial next month. But the Republican-led Senate is not expected to convict and remove Trump from office. Here's hoping you dressed in layers today, with the city of Toronto now under an extreme cold weather alert. The temperature will drop to -10 this afternoon, and then tonight it's going to feel like -20. In addition to the cold, Toronto is also under a winter weather travel advisory, with brief periods of snow expected throughout the day. Time now for 680 Sports, brought to you by 2001 Audio Video from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Andrew Nye.
Sarah, he says 5 games, maybe a little much, but Sabres winger Kyle Okposo deserves some time off for last night's hit on Travis Dermott.
It's a player that's vulnerable. It's a player that's back to the plate. It's late. The player can see that the player has no chance to protect himself, and he knows the outcome, that it's going to be bad. I mean, he checks all the boxes.
Until Mike Zigomanis of leadoff sees it, there was no penalty on the play. At least won the game 5-3. Oscar Matthews scored twice and joins Dave Keon as the only Leafs to score 20 or more in his first 4 seasons. Raptors made their first of 2 trips to Detroit this season. Fred VanVleet not expected to play. Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond might for the Pistons. 7 o'clock tip on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. On Sportsnet 1 tonight, Heat and Sixers at 7, followed by the Warriors and Blazers at 10. And the Blue Jays have reached a deal with Japanese pitcher Shun Yamaguchi pending a physical. It is reportedly worth 2 years, $6 million. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Timmins, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
2001 Audio Video's Boxing Day sale is on now. All locations are jam-packed with wall-to-wall specials. From 4K smart TVs to the best in streaming and home audio. All on sale in 2001 for the absolute lowest price anywhere. Wrap up all your Christmas shopping at 2001. The home entertainment experts. 2001. Your holiday feast is on now at Mandarin. We've added traditional favorites to our all-you-can-eat buffet for a limited time while supplies last. Choose from featured dishes like roast turkey with all the fixings, spicy firecracker shrimp, pesto chicken pasta, ribeye steak, and a tasty array of holiday desserts. And if you're celebrating at home or in the office, try Mandarin party menus for takeout and delivery. So ring in your reservation today and may all your meals be merry.
680 News Time, 10:49.
We have an update on that auto repair shop fire in Vaughan we've been telling you about.
Said it was up.
Fire crews have knocked down the fire, but it's not completely out as they continue to deal with hot spots. One person's been taken to hospital with minor injuries. A deputy fire
knocked
chief
down the fire, but it's hot. It's not out then. You told us it's out. Now you say it's not down, but it's still hot. You keep playing games with words.
And there's more people going around. So we have evacuated the immediate businesses around the structure, and York Police have the surrounding roads closed due to the amount of...
Tell us the truth. Was it a chop shop? Was it a meth lab? Was it a grow-up? What was it, bro?
Defense operations, which
Was it
means
a
nobody
squat?
is inside
What was it?
battling the fire. It's all being done from outside the auto shop. Up in 60 seconds, we'll check in with traffic and weather.
680 News.
You're not going in there. It's hot.
Stay one step ahead of the competition with 680 News. I'm Steve Friedman from the Chesterfield Shop. We've been in business since 1948.
That's all the news we got. I'm tempted to fuck off.
In and around the
I ain't got
GTA,
nothing to
selling
I'm
contemporary
let's see
leather
what
and
they say.
fabric
Let's see what
seating.
they say.
The Chesterfield Shop has been advertising for over 10 years with 680 News. We find that we are growing our ad dollars with them because the ads are most effective. People know us, they trust us, but we know we have to keep a fresh face out there so that people will come and see what's new at the Chesterfield Shop.
Why choose 680 News?
These days, when there's so many different options and opportunities in different media, we find that radio and 680 News in particular are very effective in getting across our message.
And 680 News helps you reach the customers you're looking for?
680 News absolutely brings in the right demographic for us. People who listen to the ads, they're invested in beautifying their homes and enhancing their lifestyle. And we think that it's a perfect match.
Get 680 News working for you. Call 680 News Advertising at 416-935-NEWS.
680 News Time.
Fuck SWN. Fuck Paper Excellence. Fuck Northern Falls.
Right now we've got a couple
Yeah,
of
come
issues
for your
on
brethren.
roadways westbound 401.
You think you have money. You're not gonna have
Nielsen
nothing
to
when
Kennedy
we're done with
Alternately
you.
Express and collector lanes, and then West 401 west of Port Union Express. We've got two left lanes blocked because of a collision. Only the right lane is getting through at this time, so you're much better off, first of all, using the collector lanes through there. Westbound 401, it is quite slow going from approaching Port Union to those problems west of it in the Express, so definitely stick to the collector lanes. And then once you're past that problem, it does slow Nielsen to Kennedy Express and collectors. And from the 404 to about Young, alternately Express and collectors. Farther along on the westbound 401, just west of Trafalgar, we've got the right lane blocked, and that's all because of a collision. Emergency crews and MTO crews are now on the scene. It's heavy going from approaching Winston Churchill all the way through to those problems just west of Trafalgar. If you're east on the 401, busy James Snow to Trafalgar, Mississauga Road to Mavis, through Dixie and the collectors, and then eastbound 401 just east of Young in the collectors. The right lane is blocked. That's all because of a collision. Emergency crews are on the scene. Find a slight slowdown as you approach that collision, and then it really slows down east of Young all the way through to east of Leslie, mainly in the express lanes. Eastbound 401 at Curtis Road, the right lane is still closed, and that's all because of construction. Eastbound on the QEW, still not spotting any major issues, just some light volume as you make your way from Guelph flood to walkers again through Bronte and again from South down to Dixie. And eastbound on the 403 slows down from Winston Churchill all the way through to east of Erin Mills Parkway. Some good news westbound on Finch at Don Mills, problems have cleared. And eastbound O'Connor approaching Ralston, those problems have also cleared. The luxurious organic juice beauty range is launching at TSC. Don't miss the innovative green assortment available tomorrow at tsc.ca. Today's shopping choice. Now the forecast with Denise Andriachi.
Oh, some scattered light flurries for most of the GTA, with snow squalls still making their way towards us. If you're heading away from us towards the snow belt, well, you're going to encounter some very intense snow squall bands, and we're looking at up to 30 centimeters of snow through some portions of southern Ontario. Here in the GTA, about 2 to 5 centimeters, but we still have the warning in effect through northern York region and the Newmarket area. It has ended now for Mississauga, Brampton. We'll continue with this weather advisory today, and then what we're going to see is probably some warnings pop in and out throughout the rest of the day today. Temperatures as well just continue to fall. It's bitterly cold out there. Feels like minus 14 right now at Pearson. We're sitting at minus 8 over at YYZ. We reached our guaranteed high earlier this morning, minus 3.
Bitch. This is Cine 680 News from the Moss Park area downtown, where Toronto police say a man has been rushed to hospital after being stabbed in the Sherbourne and Shooter area. Paramedics say the man suffered serious life-threatening injuries.
You got
at this point,
stabbed
report on suspects or arrests. Stay with 680 News for the latest on this developing story.
680 News Time, 10:54.
Hanging out after work was great. I'm exhausted. Just want to go home and crawl into bed. I think I'm good to drive. I've driven this route 1,000,000 times. Research shows people often can't accurately judge their level of impairment after drinking, and they may not be safe to drive.
Hey, Liz, I know you said you feel okay, but you've had more than a few. Ride with me and we'll get your car tomorrow.
Drunk driving is a woman's issue too. Learn how to reduce the risk at changetheconversation.ca.
At 680 News, we know weather.
And we guarantee it.
If we're off by more than 3 degrees, we'll announce a lucky winner of our growing cash jackpot.
Now, get more chances to win each month and vacation better with Sunwing.
Enter in December for your chance to win an all-inclusive vacation for 2 at the Grand Memories Splash in Punta Cana.
Located near Bavaro Beach with one of the largest water parks, you can enjoy excitement and relaxation with 24-hour room service and 7 enormous water slides.
The 680 News weather guarantee with Sunwing at the Grand Memories Splash
at 680news.com.
Up in 60 seconds, your business report.
680 News Time, 10:56.
The accolades continue for Don Alfonso 1890 Toronto. The esteemed restaurant has been named the second best Italian restaurant in the world by 50 Top Italy.
Hi, I'm Nick DiDonato, president of Liberty Entertainment Group. I want to congratulate 3-star Michelin chef Alfonso Iacarino and the entire team at Don Alfonso for receiving such an incredible international honor. We look forward to continuing to provide exceptional dining experiences here in Toronto.
To find out more, visit DonAlfonsoToronto.com.
Joker, a meteor set to collide with our west coast in mere minutes. What do we do?
Not to worry, Governor. I will simply fly around the Earth fast enough to reverse our polarity and turn back time. Joker away. You've only taken 3 steps. Here I go. You're basically standing still. Can the Toka help innocent citizens breathe easier? Probably not. Find out why at thetokaonline.ca.
Now, the 680 News Business Report. Here's Chris McCusker.
Well, Sarah, trading in shares of SNC-Lavalin still halted after word a division of the company entered a guilty plea to fraud charges in Montreal. Now, the charges stem from work the engineering firm did in Libya and apparent payments of nearly $48 million to influence government decisions between 2001 and 2011. SNC will pay a fine of $280 million. And all of this comes just a few days after a former top executive at SNC was also convicted of fraud. Now, this case, of course, was the center of political intrigue during the election campaign, and it prompted the ouster of Jody Wilson-Raybould as Attorney General. When shares in SNC were halted, the stock was down 2.7%. Year to date, shares in SNC off by 47%. The TSX right now off by 42, 17,032. We got gold higher by $1, 14.81, and then oil down 18 cents, $60.76 a barrel. The Canadian dollar right now up by 1/4 cent, 76.24 cents US. Inflation came in a little higher than expected for November. Records on the Dow and the S&P and all of that, despite the impeachment vote scheduled in the U.S. today. Investors seemingly looking past that, given that Donald Trump likely is not going to be thrown out of office. The Dow right now is higher by 31, the S&P up by a point, and the NASDAQ higher by 14. I'm Chris McCusker. Business continues at 26 and 56 or anytime at 680news.com.
Existing alarm systems or new installations, the Monitoring Center does it all for the lowest monthly rates in the country. Switch your alarm from your current provider or allow one of our qualified technicians to install a new customizable security system for you. Call the Monitoring Center today. Think security? Think the Monitoring Center. Why? Because we care.
1-866-24-7 for $9.99. 1-866-24-7 for $9.99.
Need window inspiration? Then you need to speak to the experts. Hi, I'm Tom Rokicki of Inline Fiberglass Windows and Doors. Our window experts are experienced in working with architects, builders, and homeowners to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So whether you're replacing your old windows or building your dream home, dream the dream with Inline Fiberglass. If you can dream it, we can build it. Visit our Factory Direct showroom, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or inlinefiberglass.com.
Taking a look at some regional weather conditions and offshore right now, partly cloudy, -7 under flurries in Mississauga. Downtown Toronto, it's mainly sunny sky, -6. It feels like -13. The News Watch never stops. 680 News is CFTR AM Toronto. It's 11 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are Steve Roberts and Sarah Paris.
Good morning. This is Wednesday, the 18th of December.
Good morning. Here's what's making news this hour. History in the making in Washington today with the House impeachment resolution against President Donald Trump being debated and then voted on.
Close to home, a man has been rushed to hospital after a stabbing this morning in Moss Park.
A division of SNC-Lavalin will plead guilty to fraud charges in Montreal. Details ahead.
And don't be fooled by all that sunshine. Brace yourself for the big chill. Fred VanVleet not likely to help the Raptors in Detroit tonight. Toronto eyes 3 in a row and 4 of 5. Sports at 15.
We've got new records on Wall Street again today, though we are looking at very modest gains. The TSX is slightly lower and the Canadian dollar's up. Business at 26.
It's up, but did it go past 76? Because otherwise it's technically not up.
Together on the ones with Toronto's most frequent traffic reports. Here's Eva Francescanos.
They go from 9 a.m. They don't count from 4 p.m. to 9
on
a.m.
the 401 west of Port Union Express. 2 left lanes are still blocked because of a collision. Emergency crews are now on the scene. We've got tow trucks through here as well. Westbound on the 401, it's still slow going coming out of Durham region from Dixon to Salem, and then westbound 401 jams up again from approaching Port Union to west of it in the express lane. So you definitely want to use the collector lanes instead. That way you won't get stuck behind that collision. Farther along on the westbound 401, it's still busy from west of Nielsen to Kennedy, alternately express and collector lanes. Again, delays from the 404 to west of Yonge, alternately express and collector lanes. And then westbound on the 401 west of Trafalgar, we've got the right lane blocked because of a collision. Emergency crews, MTO trucks, they're all on the scene. Westbound 401, it's very slow from approaching Winston Churchill right through to those problems at Trafalgar. On the opposite side, eastbound 401, it's quite jammed up from the Kelso Conservation area all the way through to Trafalgar. Slows again east of Mississauga Road and then again through Dixie Collectors. And if you're eastbound on the QEW, it's slow from south down to Dixie. Eastbound 403 is very busy. Winston Churchill to east of Erin Mills Parkway. And looking at the southbound 404 DVP, you'll find it busy as well from Stouffville Road all the way through to about south of 16th, and then delays again at the Finch to south of Lawrence, and southbound 400, it looks like it's just slow now through King Road. After that looks pretty good. Don't forget Leslie north and southbound just north of York Mills. We've got lane restrictions all because of a collision. Southbound Leslie very heavy from south of the 401. Does your vehicle need TLC? Give it a spa treatment at Serpa.ca. All brands, all models, Serpa.ca. Any car, anytime. anytime, anywhere. Next report 11:11. Here's the forecast with Denise Andriachi.
Weather advisories in effect for the snow squall activity today and the bitter cold. It feels into the minus teens across the GTA, and it's getting colder overnight. We'll fall to lows near minus 16. Now, we still have snow squall warnings in effect across northern York region and in through Newmarket as well. We'll continue to likely see more warnings pop up for the GTA, kind of in and out of the forecast throughout the day today. No, we're seeing some pockets of sunshine now, but brace yourselves for tricky driving conditions, blowing and drifting snow with these strong northwest winds and very, very cold temperatures.
Good time to be out in your Mustang with summer tires, eh? The all-season, cheapest, fucking smallest ones that came with the car. I've seen it.
Happening right now in Washington. By the end of today, Donald Trump expected to be just the third U.S. president to be impeached. Democrats are bringing charges of abuse of power and obstruction against him. They are doing that to a
go ahead and do it. We're not going to do no business with Americans. You think I'm fucking playing, eh? You like what we send you? It ain't going to come no more.
That would be me with my TV on, still watching the proceedings in Washington. So right after this historic debate opened, the Republicans tried to stop the proceedings with a procedural vote. It was defeated by the Democratic-controlled House. As you would imagine, this is all falling along party lines.
Despite the unprecedented obstruction from the president, the evidence in this case is powerful
enough. Go back to Texas.
That to delay this vote any further
you see the ocean, go back over
in the 2020 election.
I believe this is the most unfair.
You want it? Come take it back, brethren. Y'all know where to find it.
That I have seen in my entire life. Trump faces charges that he abused his power and obstructed Congress. There will be at least 6 hours of debate with votes on the 2 articles.
Oh, and you think this means me cannot cross the border? You're not paying attention. You're doing national.
11:05.
Quad Nazi now.
News on the ongoing SNC-Lavalin affair. A division of the group will now plead guilty to a charge of fraud and pay nearly $300 million in penalties related to work that the company did in Libya. Now, the plea deal comes on the heels of the conviction of a former top SNC-Lavalin executive last weekend. The criminal cases are separate, but both relate to allegations of corruption and fraud in Libya going back roughly 2 decades. We'll have more coming up in business later on this half hour.
This is 680 News. Breaking news from downtown, where Toronto paramedics say a man has been taken to hospital with serious injuries after he was stabbed in the Moss Park area. Investigators were called to the scene at Sherburne and Shooter just before 10 this morning. No arrests have been made. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward. Staying with 680 News, we'll have the latest on this developing story.
Happening right now in Vaughan, fire crews quickly able to bring a fire at a business in the Jane and Highway 7 area under control this morning, but they say they are still on scene trying to put out some hot spots. Vaughan Deputy Fire Chief Mike Doyle telling 680 News what they are doing right now.
It's an automotive
they all got to sound cool. They knocked the fire down. Buddy, try and knock a fire down. You're going to be on fire.
It's all being done from the exterior.
I can tell you right now that one person has been hurt in the fire, but according to the Deputy Fire Chief, is expected to be okay.
Another blast of winter weather in Toronto and the GTA today. The city has issued an extreme cold weather alert, and Environment Canada has issued a winter weather travel advisory. 680 News weather specialist Denise Andriachi says you can expect a messy drive.
And we'll continue to see hazardous driving conditions at times across the entire GTA, with periods of snow squall activity, reduced visibility, heavy snow, and blowing and drifting snow because of the strong gusty winds.
Snow squall warning still in effect for some parts of the GTA, including Newmarket, Northern York region, Mississauga, and Brampton.
Well, the Center for Addiction and Mental Health in downtown Toronto says it will implement all recommendations made by an external panel that looked into recent cases of patients with a violent history escaping that facility. Catherine Zahn, the president of the hospital, says the facility will build new infrastructure, including an outdoor in-care area enclosed by fences, change its system of patient passes, and communicate more often with police, among other things. One of the high-profile escapees is Zebin Kong, who fled China back in July, who fled to China back in July after being found not criminally responsible for the second-degree murder of his roommate.
At the Old City Hall,
But you're not going to tell us who the roommate was,
accused of throwing feces on 5 strangers is set to appear. 23-year-old Samuel Opoku is facing 5 counts of assault with a weapon and mischief in connection with the three alleged incidents at or near York University and the U of T. The suspect has been held in custody since his December 3rd bail hearing was postponed.
And it's the end of an era at the GM plant in Oshawa today. The last truck set to roll off the line, putting hundreds out of work.
For the 2,300 production line workers here at GM Oshawa, today is their last day.
It's really tough on a lot of these other families. Like, these jobs are just gone. Where do they turn to for work now?
For this older worker who can just retire, it's not so bad. But
I feel sorry for the younger generation. They were where I was 40 years ago. Mortgage, young family, a lot of responsibilities. Some of these things to get a job out there today.
GM has been producing vehicles here in Oshawa since 1907, but announced last year that this plant was being shut down. A section of this massive site, though, is being converted into a stamping and sub-assembly operation and a test track for autonomous vehicles that will keep about 300 people employed. At GM Oshawa, I'm Carl Hansky.
On the way in 30 seconds, we'll have a check on city streets, and it looks like there's some movement for gas tonight.
City News Time, 11:09.
I'm here with Bill Coy of Coy Brothers, and we're wishing you a Kubota Christmas.
If Jack Frost is nipping at your nose, you should climb into a heated cab of a Kubota tractor.
Can I roast chestnuts in there, Bill?
I don't recommend that. Kubota tractor cabs are luxurious and more spacious than the competition. With big windows and standard rear defogger and defogging climate control, they have better visibility, too.
So I'm offering this simple phrase. Get your Kubota tractor from the Snow Pros at Coy Bros.
KOOIBRLS.com.
Taking a look right now at your city streets. We got southbound Leslie pretty slow from the 401 to approaching York Mills, all because of a collision. And expect a couple of lane restrictions right now southbound on Bayview and at Eglinton. That is for some ongoing construction. Now the 680 News gas price update and process. Price of gas should go up a penny at midnight tonight to $1.17.9.
680 News Time, 11:10.
What will your winter vacation sound like this year? Or wherever you're heading, be sure to pack CAA travel insurance. From helping you find the nearest hospital to paying emergency medical expenses up front, CAA travel insurance lets you travel worry-free. Plus, CAA members save 10%. So get a quote today before you hear this. CAA, making bad days good and good days better. Terms and conditions apply. CAA travel insurance is underwritten by Orion Travel Insurance Company.
Look at my perfect parking job. Equidistant left and right, wheels straight as an arrow. I should post it. Hashtag perfect park.
Or hashtag enhanced park assist.
Or hashtag shh.
Get the SUV built with features that help make your life easier. The Ford Escape with available enhanced active park assist. And now during the Ford year-end event, get up to $6,000 in rebates on select new 2019 Escape models. Get the SUV built to get you out there. Visit your local Ford store or Ford.ca.
680 News Time, 11:11. Now time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Eva Francescatos.
This report is brought to you by Marquee Jewelers. While on the westbound 401 west of Port Union and the Express, 2 left lanes are still blocked, and that's all because of a collision. Emergency crews are on the scene. It's jammed up on that westbound 401. First of all, slows from Brock Street to about Salem, and then it gets slow from Port Union to west of it, mainly in the Express lane, so you're much better off using the collectors through there. Farther along West 401, slows approaching Markham to Kennedy, alternately Express and collector lanes. Delays again from the 404 to west of Yonge, alternately Express and collectors. And then westbound 401, west of Trafalgar, the right lane is still blocked. That's all because of a collision. It is jammed from west of Mississauga Road all the way through to those problems west of Trafalgar. So definitely leave yourself some extra time. You can always use westbound 407 as an alternate route. Some people taking westbound Derry as an alternate. That also seems to be moving much better than that westbound 401. Now the opposite side, eastbound 401, heavy going from Highway 25 all the way through to Trafalgar as drivers look at the problems on the opposite side. Eastbound 401 slows down again east of Yonge in the collectors, where it looks like the right lane is still closed because of a collision, just a very minor delay through there. And then once you're past that collision, a slight slowdown through Bayview and the Express, but even that's starting to quickly ease off. On the southbound 400, bit of a delay still through King Road. Southbound on the 404 Don Valley Parkway. You'll find that quite heavy going from Bloomington to south of Major Mackenzie, and then slows again Finch to south of Lawrence. No issues on the northbound side of the Don Valley Parkway, and eastbound on the Gardner Expressway. Looks like that's slow over top of the Humber Bridge to Dufferin. Leslie, both directions north of York Mills, problems there. They've all cleared away. Northbound Kennedy at Progress now. The two right lanes are blocked with a collision. The holidays have arrived at Marquee Jewelers. Get up to 70% off select merchandise for that special someone in your life. 2 Bloor Street West inside the Cumberland Terrace. Now the forecast with Denise Andriachi.
Well, winter weather travel advisories in effect for the GTA. We're seeing some flurries right now for much of it, with the potential for more snow squall activity on and off throughout the day today. As temperatures continue to fall by tonight, we're down to lows near minus 16. It's going to feel into the minus 20s as we move through the late afternoon and evening. Thursday morning, quite cold, and through the afternoon, highs only near minus 9. We continue with this chance of active weather Wednesday night, tonight, and through the day on Thursday. By Thursday night, we're clear down to lows near minus 10. It's minus 8 at Pearson. Our guaranteed high reached this morning, minus 3.
680 News Time, 11:14.
Time now for the Scotia iTrade Market Minute. Let's check in at the Business Center and see how things are going, Chris.
Well, we've got some records on Wall Street, Steve. The Dow is higher by 25, the S&P up by 4, the Nasdaq up by 9. The S&P actually is within striking distance of its best year since 1997.
Striking distance. Everything's about
on
violence.
Street, the TSX is down 60 points, 17,014. Shares in SNC-Lavalin still
Funds are bad, but they always say
2.7% when the halt
one
went
in the
into
chamber
place.
and all these
SNC-Lavalin
things.
pleading guilty to a charge of fraud. It's also going to pay a $280 million fine, all related to work done in Libya. Price for gold right now, little changed, $14.80. Oil is up by 9 cents, $61.03. And the Canadian dollar is higher by 28 100s now, 76.27 cents US.
Ooh,
At the Business Center,
we hit 76 cents officially.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up
That's
to
$3,100 over
cash and
the other day's
$6.99
quote.
pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20. Let's consider.
Of course, in Toronto at night, we get US dollars for the same as Canadian
want to think
dollars.
about uranium
That's how it
ore,
goes.
Madagascar hissing cockroaches, an umbrella hat, or how about a great holiday deal you don't have to think about, like the Bring Home a Honda event. Lease the redesigned 2020 Honda CR-V LX from just $90 weekly at 4.99% and 0 down. Includes straight lease for 60 months. Taxes extra OAC. See HondaOntario.com. Bring Home a Honda. No thinking required.
Right now at Rogers, you can unwrap more. Like buy one, get one when you activate 2 lines with the Samsung Galaxy S10 and S10e on select 2-year plans. That means
Now do you only have one name? Who the fuck are you?
Yet. More perfect holiday photos with Samsung's ProGrade multi-camera and infinite data you can share when you get them both on a
Fucking
Rogers
white guy.
Infinite
Go
plan.
away.
Get twice the nice with Samsung BOGO during the Wrap and Red event on now at Rogers.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Sunshine right now in downtown Toronto. Still cold, -6, feeling like -13 when you factor in that wind. Good morning from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Steve Roberts.
And I'm Sarah Parrots. Here are the top stories this hour.
Happening right now in Washington. By the end of today, Donald Trump expected to be just the 3rd U.S. president to be impeached. Democrats are bringing charges of abuse of power
why
and
is it
obstruction
adding
against
shit? I'm not
Congress
fucking
against him today. They are bringing it to a full vote later on this afternoon. Right now, a debate ongoing in the House. Breaking news on the ongoing SNC-Lavalin scandal. A division of the group will plead guilty now to a charge of fraud and pay almost $300 million in penalties related to work that the company did in Libya. And we're following some news out of downtown where Toronto paramedics say a man has been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed in the Moss Park area. Now time for 680 Sports. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
I've been all over this person's shit, and I'm not trying to. What the fuck?
Game last night, which included a couple of goals. He now is 21 and joins Dave Keon as the only Leafs to score 20 or more in his first 4 seasons.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty big honor, obviously, just to be in the same breath as that guy. Obviously, his career and what he did here, it's pretty unbelievable. So, like I said, just to be mentioned in the same sentence for myself is a huge privilege.
Leafs beat the Sabres 5-3. They open a back-to-back against the Rangers Friday in New York. Islanders fans want to mark February 21st and 29th on their calendars. They'll first retire John Tonelli's number 27, and then it's Butch Goring's turn to watch number 91 go up, which completely cuts ties with John Tavares. Dwayne Casey expects Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond will return to the Pistons lineup tonight against the Raptors. 7 o'clock start on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. They will be game-time decisions. Fred VanVleet not likely to play for Toronto. And 3-time All-Star outfielder Matt Kemp has agreed to terms on a minor league deal with the Miami Marlins. It includes a spring training invitation. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime in the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
The Maserati of Oakville in Ontario Grand Finale event is on now. For a limited time, take advantage of incredible offers on new 2019 models, including a 0% finance rate and a 1.95% lease rate on the Maserati Ghibli SQ4. Plus, as an added bonus, take advantage of up to $25,000 savings on select 2018 in-stock models. Act fast before it's too late. Choose the road less ordinary by visiting Maserati of Oakville or Maserati of Ontario today. On approved credit, offer expires December 31st. See dealer for details.
Don't know what to get them for the holidays?
A fidget spinner? Really? I birthed your 3 children, and you get me a glow-in-the-dark fidget spinner?
How about better sleep from Sleep Country? Hurry into the Bugsy
Who was
sale
better
to
at
get the better
spinning and
sleep.
fidgeting
Amazing
the
prices
spinner?
on sleep
You
essentials like
wouldn't have
today's
those 3
pillows,
kids,
sheets,
right?
and more. And get a hot buy queen mattress with temperature control, just $369. Hurry in store or online because it's on now. Sleep Country, all for sleep.
680 News Time, 11:19.
Certainly is another day off for some public high school students in Ontario as their teachers continue to stage a one-day strike to ramp up pressure on the Ford government.
Teachers are on picket lines at high schools in affected areas, including outside Education Minister Stephen Lecce.
There's nobody at school except you, stupid. You're on strike. Remember? Morons. You gotta go somewhere else to do that shit.
Ford says that's what the public wants.
And don't give in to the teachers.
give in.
That's what I'm hearing everywhere. People are fed up with the heads of the unions.
The talks have broken off. No new bargaining sessions are planned. Head of the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation, Harvey Bishop, tells 680 News maybe after the Christmas break, things might change.
You know, to go along with the 5 months they had previously, maybe they'll have time to step back and reevaluate their position.
The union wants the government to reverse increases to class size and mandatory e-learning requirements, but the government says compensation is the main issue. I'm Kevin Meisner.
On the way, 60 seconds from now, we'll have a look at traffic and your extended and cold forecast.
680 News Time, 11:20.
Tis the season of joy, and now on December 21st, it's the Lotto 649 Super Draw. Every ticket is a chance at 5 guaranteed prizes of $1 million and the jackpot. So don't miss out on Saturday, December 21st, and get your tickets for the Lotto 649 Super Draw. Because with so many guaranteed prizes, plus the jackpot, somebody's going to win. It could be you.
Devastating wildfires in Fort McMurray. Extreme flooding in Ottawa. An empty kitchen table at Christmas. We'll be there because everyone needs an army. Donate this holiday season at salvationarmy.ca.
680 News Time, 11:21.
Time now for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Eva Francescanos.
Right now, I'm still looking at problems that we have on the westbound 401. Westbound 401, west of Port Union Express. The 2 left lanes are still shut down because of a collision. Emergency crews there still on the scene. Now, westbound 401 is slow from Brock Street to west of Salem, and then it slows down again as you approach that issue just west of Port Union in the Express, but not too much of a delay through there. If you want, just use the collector lanes and you can avoid that problem. Further along on the westbound 401, it's still slow going from about approaching Markham to Kennedy Express and collector lanes. And then westbound 401 slows down again from the 404 to Young Express and collectors. Westbound on the 401 west of Trafalgar, unfortunately, the right lane is still blocked because of a collision. It's quite jammed up from approaching Mississauga Road all the way through to west of Trafalgar. So definitely plan an alternate route. You can use westbound Derry, westbound 407 instead. Both those routes look much better. Even westbound Britannia, I'm not seeing too much of a delay on that route if you wanted to try that as an alternate. alternate to the West 401. Southbound 404 Don Valley Parkway, still slow going from Bloomington to south of 19th, and from approaching Shepherd to south of Lawrence. If you're using the southbound 400, not seeing too much of a delay right now. It looks to be in decent shape. I'm just seeing a slowdown southbound on the 400 from Finch all the way through to about south of Shepherd. It looks like we might have a new collision on that southbound 400 just south of Shepherd. Again, that's just looking for that on our cameras here, but not seeing it yet, but definitely southbound 400 south of Shepherd. Looks like probably the 2 or 3 center lanes are now blocked with a new collision involving a tractor trailer. We've got tow trucks just arriving on the scene right now of this problem. Southbound 400, very slow going from approaching Finch to south of Shepherd, where again, we've got a few center lanes blocked with a collision. Westbound Lawrence, problems near the DVP, they've all cleared away. It's the final days for Leon's Ho Ho Hold the Payments event. No payments for 2 years with no money down and no interest OAC. Visit leons.ca for deals. Now with the forecast, here's Denise Andriacci.
-7 downtown, a wind chill of -14. We've got light flurries falling across the GTA. Winter weather travel advisories are in effect, and also extreme cold weather alert as well. So we're tapping into the coldest air of the season. Temperatures will continue to fall throughout the day today. Still have some snow squall warnings to contend with in northern York region, Newmarket, Georgina, and some of those traditional snow belt areas seeing up to 30 centimeters. If you're heading out of the GTA, especially to the north, you need to be mindful on the roads. But here too, even though the snow squall warnings for the most part have ended, they're still on the radar, and it's still a very active day. So they'll be popping in and out of the forecast throughout the afternoon. We're tracking very, very closely. Tonight, we're going to fall the lows near -16. It's going to feel into the -20s tonight. And when the kids wake up Thursday morning, they need a lot of layers. -8 at Pearson right now. Our guaranteed high reached this morning, -3.
680 News Time, 11:24.
Hello, Alpine Credits.
Hi, I own my home. I need money for approved.
Wait, that was mine.
Approved.
Hey,
Approved.
you own your home, so you are
Approved.
Please stop.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just
Approved.
Oh, you got me. So I'm
Approved.
At Alpine Credits, we try to approve all home equity loan applications, regardless of your credit, age, or income. Find out more at alpinecredits.ca. Alpine Credits. Homeowners get approved.